give this a few minutes to send out notifications. Hopefully it does and isn't a jumpy mess. There we go. Now people are here. Do I have a mod in here by chance? How is everybody tonight? So I wanted to do this live stream to update everyone on the last live stream I did. Bohika, hey. So you last saw me out on the streets ever. John, how are you? Maybe you guys can help me post some I go through this. I got a lot of people very, very concerned about what happened to Zana. And I'm very, very concerned about it. And what's making this really super difficult is that I'm out of town. I was supposed to be out of town for quite a while, but I think I might be going back so I can help Zana deal with this, and then I'll resume what I'm doing out of state. But this is a bad situation. And the bottom line is that Denver Police Department literally stole Zana's Jeep right off the street. And it's currently an impound. And you'll remember from that ticket, it said that she was to report to Denver Police Department's Traffic Investigations Unit the following Monday. So this happened last Friday. So I got her a ride. I made sure that she appeared there on Monday. I was very concerned because it was still an investigation. Why it was still an investigation is a little beyond me. Yeah, it was shady as hell, and it still is. So Zana was supposed to be to this place with the Denver Police Department that does investigations through the traffic unit. It's literally in the heart of downtown off of a major interstate, and she was supposed to be there at 1700 hours. Who in the hell puts military time on a piece of paper and hands it to a homeless individual who's already struggling and wants her to be somewhere at 5 o'clock the following Monday? Well, the type of people that do that are tyrants and thieves, because they knew exactly what they were doing. They knew by taking that Jeep that she was likely never going to get it back. And if she doesn't have help, she's not going to get it back. So I get this all set up for her to go over there Monday at 5 o'clock. And I'm very concerned about her going without attorney representation. So she's hell-bent on letting them know she's, not at fault and she did everything she was supposed to do. They ended up charging her. They handed her a criminal citation for no insurance, no driver's license, and failure to set a parking brake. So right there, we know, in fact, that this was not a traffic infraction. She was not involved in a traffic stop. I'm no attorney. I wasn't there. I can talk about what I think I know. However, if they were truly investigating a hit and run, it would not have ended like it did on Friday. They literally decided arbitrarily that this woman no longer needed her vehicle. And so they skipped all due process and had it towed and called it part of an investigation. I've got people messaging me left and right, sending me emails about this. People are really concerned because it's pretty obvious why. So, was it parked in legal parking? It was parked on the street. So the issue was, Zaina has, we need to back up because it's important that you know the person. Zaina is a 69-year-old single woman living on the streets by herself for the first time since her husband passed away this past winter. It was a very tragic and very sudden death, and Zaina has not been able to secure any help in resources. And let me tell you what, she has not been shy about saying, I need help, I need somewhere to live. Everyone that's come to her door, Denver, you know, they send out all the people. She's told every one of them, yes, I want housing, I need help. She qualifies for housing. She's elderly. I had made a very bad assumption that the District 4 caseworker that's assigned to the Denver Police Department with taxpayer dollars to solve homelessness issues had this handled and had her on a housing list. Well, she didn't. I've had to call for some extra support on systems that are supposed to be in place to help serve people in crisis. There have been no results from that. I was able to get a caseworker at the Coalition for the Homeless. The Colorado Coalition for the Homeless serves people in a capacity with some collaboration and financial assistance from the city of Denver. And they essentially had stopped coming out on the streets during COVID. Pretty much all service providers stopped coming out on the streets. You'll see months and months of my videos of me complaining and asking where everyone is. Well, in response, you know, they assign these caseworkers to the Denver Police Department. Each district has their own. And they're supposed to know what's going on in the homeless community. And I think they don't bother. I think they see a few roadblocks and barriers that they decide they don't have to work through, so they just move on and leave the homeless out there. So that's a little bit about Zaina's history. There's medical concerns. There's aging concerns. And I've told Zaina how much I am worried about her. And yeah, it's not an essential. No, the homeless are not. Helping the homeless, no, that's not an essential service. It's all very depressing. It's very difficult for me to talk about because I'm really concerned about Zaina being this far away and a few other situations, but this one is bad. So that's a little bit of her history, and Zaina lives with her 2 cats. District 4 had told me they were going to get me help getting those cats spayed and neutered because I made an appointment for Zaina finally through Colorado Coalition for the Homeless, and I got her a caseworker, and we spent hours and hours and hours having her go through all the information, fill everything out, get on the housing list. That's been a couple months. We're still waiting. Well, they're big money too. So, you know, homelessness has allowed Denver to raise taxes again, you know, because they want to solve homelessness. And so I got her that caseworker, and we're just waiting. But in the midst of that, she has this Jeep. She's had it for a long time. And I know it has a lot of sentimental value to her. There's a huge philosophical discussion to have on the idea of asking government for permission. So driver's license and insurance. I, for one, subscribe to that system of a driver's license and insurance because I can afford it, and because I need to be able to do other things besides go to jail or fight things that the government says I have to beg them and pay them for permission to go about my daily life, like the right to travel. Do you have the right to harm others and not have a way to pay for it? No, I don't think you do. So for that reason, I'm a firm believer in insurance. But because of compulsory insurance laws in almost every state now, you have one little screw up or you lapse in insurance, you're pretty much screwed forever. Once you get behind that 8-ball on starting that cycle of no driver's license or no insurance, it's hard to get out of it. If you're homeless and you get behind that 8-ball and you start that cycle, you're never going to get out of it unless you have a lot of financial help and support. So the fact that she's behind the 8-ball on the driver's license and insurance takes us to this next piece about her owning that property. I don't care if she doesn't have insurance or a license. That does not give the state the right to seize your property. And had there been a real accident or someone had been really injured, we'd be having a different conversation. But that's not what happened. So the what ifs and all the maybes or the possibilities of no insurance or driver's license at this point is a moot point. No, the car registration is not up to date because she doesn't have a driver's license. You cannot get your car registered if you don't have a driver's license. So how much is it going to be to get the Jeep back? Well, that's the kicker. But let me back up to what took place. So Zana needs that Jeep to take care of herself or have her friends help her. She does have some licensed driver friends that help her move her camper around with that Jeep. And you heard me screaming on Friday about how many times she's been swept. If they would just leave her alone and let her try to get on her feet or figure out that I'm working to get her off the streets because she's wanted to get off the streets since she hasn't had her husband to help her and take care of things, they wouldn't have done what they did. They deliberately did that because this is Denver's new approach to solving homelessness, is to take their things, to take what they need to survive. You see them doing it with every sweep. Hey, Janet. So they have swept Zana nonstop. The cops have been on her ass almost every day. You gotta move, you gotta move, you gotta move. They got nowhere for her to move, but they got enough cops to crawl up her ass over that, but not enough people to get her some housing. So you tell me how much money that costs, and then we'll talk about what makes more sense. But see, Denver's not gonna do that because the police department, wants to take this backseat burner when it comes to addressing homelessness. But boy, if there's something they want to nail them for, oh, they're right there. They're right there to do it every single fucking time. So Zana has this Jeep, and she had called me a week or so ago in bad shape because she hadn't been to the grocery store. She couldn't get anything for herself because her Jeep had broke down. So I had someone go over there and fix it for her. No sooner do we do that. Hi, Mighty Chihuahua. Thank you. I'm good. She has that Jeep parked on the street, and supposedly it rolled into someone's vehicle, into someone's parked vehicle. And this person discovered this Jeep and his vehicle had collided. We don't know how they collided, okay? This is only the victim's word being used to orchestrate all of this. He goes and knocks on Zana's camper door and says, you hit me. And she said, no, I didn't. I left you plenty of room to get out. And all of a sudden, he's wanting money. So Zana leaves to go get some money. And she comes back to the cops being there. And the victim is gone. And she's being accused of a hit and run. So Denver decides that they're not going to address that right there on the spot, and instead has her vehicle towed and orders her to go appear at the traffic investigations unit, where they ultimately ended up charging her with no license, no insurance, and failure to set a parking brake. Who the hell knew that we had a statute in Colorado that makes it a crime not to set your parking brake? So Denver's already admitted there was no accident, there was no injury, and the victim was never anywhere to be found because he apparently accused her of a hit and run, and then he left while the cops waited for her. Yeah, it's all very interesting. So she is in the process of getting the title. I don't know how this is going to work. This is another common issue where, yeah, I can request all that, but here's the deal. I'm already fighting with Denver about the amount of money that I spend on records requests and their incompetence. I'm just gonna go off subject here for a minute. Where Zana used to be parked, apparently there's a trespass agreement between the Colorado Department of Transportation and the Denver Police Department. Every time I have to ask for information, I have to pay. I had paid for this information back in March. They said no, none of that information existed. There was no trespass agreement between the Denver Police Department and the Colorado Department of Transportation. And then all of a sudden, everybody was getting citations over there for trespassing. The Denver Police Department was handing out citations for the Colorado Department of Transportation to the homeless people because all of a sudden they claimed they had a trespass agreement. I said, well, that's interesting because I just paid civil liability, another department of the Denver Police Department, where you have to request records. I just paid them and they told me there was no trespass agreement. Oh, well, we don't know what to tell you because there is. It took me another 3 weeks to make another request, have to pay for it again, for them to give me some trespass agreement that now exists between District 3 to be able to do the bidding for a state agency and start criminally citing people. Listen, I go down so many rabbit holes with all of this, but because she's criminally charged now, she's entitled to representation. So Zana's attorney can request that body cam footage because I just don't have time to go down every single rabbit hole. Yeah, I'm hoping people can help. If anybody wants to do a records request for that body cam footage, you're entitled to do that, and it doesn't matter where you live. You will have to pay in advance $25, and you will have to go to the Denver Police Department civil liability website and fill out the form, and hopefully you can navigate it because it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. You have to put in the description in like 300 characters exactly what you're looking for. So the date and time for that body cam footage would have been June 11th, between the hours of, I'm going to say 4:30 and 7 p.m. for at least one officer, Officer Simon, badge number 18005. And there was another officer on the scene. I don't know his name. I don't know. You could go back in the video and get the car number. He had a cadet or a civilian ride along. I mean, everybody's just having a fucking good old time. They thought it was all hilarious, you know. So if anybody wants to just go get that body cam footage for publication, we can do that. Or you can do that. I can't do that. If you get the body cam footage and you want me to publish it, I can do that, but I'm not going to do it during this criminal during these criminal charges. So if you'd like to do that, the Hart family, that would be really awesome. There might be a chance that they not release it, and they're probably gonna try to take your money. So you're gonna have to be willing to go down that rabbit hole, because they're probably gonna try to tell you that it's part of an active investigation. That's usually what they do when they don't want to release that stuff. But that's great. You're an analyst, then you know exactly what it's going to take to get that and fight your way through it. And I think the more people that are interested in how the Denver Police Department is treating the homeless, the better. So more power to you, please. So if anybody ever wants to know how to find something or navigate process in Denver, please email me at communityforumsforus@gmail.com. I don't know if one of my mods can put up that email address. I also have an email address in the About section of my channel if you ever need to get in touch with me. Yeah, what the fuck is going on over there? Trust me. I know. Is there lots of backyard and public pools there? No. Why? Not in Colorado. My email, it's communityforums, FORUMS, the number 4, us, US, @gmail.com. communityforumsforus@gmail.com. So that's that piece of that. The next piece is the Jeep in impound. Okay. This is where this is going to get, it's grueling. So I've never helped anyone retrieve anything out of impound. I do know that Denver has this whole set of rules on how you can get something out of impound. For one, you have to be able to prove that you're the owner. So we're trying to make sure that Zana can secure that title. I don't know if she can. If she can't, we're dead in the water. And that is exactly what these cops bank on when they take their shit. This isn't the first time that they've done this. They do this during sweeps. They took people's homes during sweeps and impounded them. They could never get them, because a lot of these RVs or some of these vehicles, while not stolen, just don't have clear titles. That doesn't mean that that's not their property, okay? So this is how literally Denver collects. This is a revenue generating scam, because you take something in for free, all you got to do is pay for a tow, and then you get to turn around and auction it. So Zanas Jeep has some value. I don't know if any of you saw it, but it's a collector. It's an older model Jeep, T-top thing, big tires. It had value. It has financial value to it, aside from all the sentimental value. It's pure corruption. It's 100% corruption. So on top of having to prove ownership, she's going to have insurance, or we have to pay a licensed tow truck company driver to tow it off of the lot. So that means that somebody, a licensed driver, who is covered under their own insurance could get in that and drive it off. But it's the proof of ownership. So even if she gets the title, it's going to be a matter of how to get insurance on it to drive it off of there. Plus, all the impound fees. $120, I think, for the tow, $20 a day. Yeah, stealing personal property. They stole her Jeep. And she is so upset about it. I'm worried about being able to emotionally and mentally get her through it. And I feel pretty strongly that we're not getting it back. And it's wrong. It should have never happened. It should have never happened. They stole it from her. We know the vehicle wasn't stolen, so they had no reason to tow it. The citation she was issued was for no license, no insurance, and failure to set a parking brake. So that's where we're at with that. But I wanted to do this stream because people have wanted to know what's going on. I have to cut my losses where I have to be able to continue to help them where they need help the most. I want to continue to help her with this, and I am going to go back and try to resolve some things in one business day and then leave again. Someone wants the vehicle, someone in DPD. Well, it'll go to auction, you know, and I don't know how that works, but maybe we're inclined to pay attention to that and get it back that way. I'm not sure. You can Google Denver vehicle impound and pull up that information. And if my mods wanted to, they could put that stuff in here. But I will. Yes, it did happen within the city. Okay, so you should know that Denver is its own city and county, so it operates under a charter. You know, and you know, Denver's gonna love the fact that we're raising money, you know, to give them. And that's exactly what I don't want to do. That's Zanas property. It should have never been taken. But something's gonna have to happen to be able to get that back if we can't secure this title. And that's what I'm a little bit worried about. So I just wanted to update everyone on that, and I do talk to her and text her. She's incredibly depressed. The tow company will have a lien sale. Yeah, no, not here. It's at the actual city and county does the auction from the impound lot. So I'd have to call and figure out when that is or figure out that process, but that's where it's at right now. I know in the past, some people have tried to retrieve their property and have been told that they've talked to a sergeant. So the Denver Sheriff's Department oversees the impound lot, is my understanding. And they can coordinate and decide with the Denver Police Department if they're going to waive some of those fees. So that's another option, but they're going to get her on the proof of ownership and likely the insurance. So we're probably going to have to pay to tow it off if we can secure ownership. So Have I thought about talking to someone at Westward or the Denver Post? Well, that's a good question. I'm waiting for a call from a reporter that apparently caught wind of this, but I don't know how interested, he's going to be. People aren't interested in reporting on the homeless because it's such a sore subject here in Denver, because everybody wants the homeless swept and gone. Connor Kavanaugh at the Westward, he was doing some coverage on some of the homeless. He might be one to contact, but I'm telling you, they have next to no interest when it starts involving the homeless, because they know that city process, laws, and tyranny rue the day when it comes to dealing with the homeless. So what they did to her was extremely dirty pool. I thought I had a little bit of a better understanding with District 4, and I really would have been hopeful that someone would have reached out to me before they would have done something that utterly stupid. And I do not take back a single word that I screamed, hollered, and carried on with those cops. You're fucking tyrants. And if you go home and sleep good at night after doing shit like that, you can drive those vehicles right into that Platte River and be bye-bye, and I will give not two shits. I have no compassion or understanding for a cop that says, I'm just doing my job, just doing what I was told. So don't get on here and don't get in my comments and start making excuses for cops that violate their oath to this degree. That was fucking heinous, what they did to her. There really isn't anyone out there that doesn't know that Zaina has lost her husband. It was a big deal when he died. It's been a big deal that she's been swept repeatedly trying to survive in that RV. Well, she's entitled to a hearing for the criminal charges. She's only entitled to a hearing on the impound lot issue if her vehicle has been booted. Two different things, because DPD had it towed for an investigation. They do this shit all the time, you guys. They tow cars all the time for investigations. Yep. Police prove daily they're nothing more than badgering, revenue-generating tyrants that extort money from us. And the stupid thing is, they're paying a case coordinator in that district. They're paying someone to help solve these issues. I can't. I don't even know how this happened. I'm still very mad about it. So hey, here's another thing. If you want to write the commander of District 4, I think you should do that as well. Here's his email. And if you Google District 4, Denver Police Department, you can see this commander was appointed in 2015. Somebody in Canada took the time to put this wonderful document together. And if anyone is interested in it, let me know. Because, can you see? Oh, you can't see that. He did this nice, how many pages is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. And he sent it to a whole list of emails. And he quoted the message from the mayor about quotes he's actually said around homelessness and doing all the outreach work for the homeless. Now is the time for all of us to come together to turn our dreams and aspirations into reality. With an equity-focused approach, Mayor Hancock has prioritized investing in the city's children and youth. started record investment in affordable housing, and tripled funding for services for those experiencing homelessness, hired more police, firefighters to keep city residents safe, and embraced technology as a smart city to make government resources work smarter. I mean, this guy went and found all of these quotes and put all this on here. And he did it about Chief Payson as well of the Denver Police Department. He outlined all these programs that Denver's supposedly paying for. District 4 right here advertises their community meetings as a great opportunity to meet your local Denver police officers while staying informed. And types of resources available in District 4 are homeless outreach, neighbor mediation, mental health resources, housing assistance resources, financial assistance resources. And on every page of this document, he put a link to my videos from Friday. I mean, this is really an outstanding document. If anybody wants a copy of this to share in emails, that'd be great. RP Grinders, there you are. Awesome. I saw them talking about you there. So I did an interview with him for a podcast, but that was about the homeless or the Planet Fitness debacle. So anyway, if anybody wants to see this document, please email me because I want to get this out there. It's put together very nicely about all the great things that Denver has and is doing and blah, 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 blah. And then those video links. It's unreal. Yeah, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion about what karma is, and you know, I don't advocate really that anyone get violent, but you know, I wouldn't think twice if a cop like drove themselves into a brick wall at 90 miles an hour after they'd done something like this to this woman. I wouldn't think twice about walking away. Sorry, I just wouldn't. Law doesn't work. No, we don't need more laws. Laws do not work. So we need moral compass. We need them to uphold their oath. I mean, we already have laws. We have plenty of laws. Can she request a duplicate title? I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. There's a lot of confusion. Okay, I just want to put that out there. And when you're working with the homeless and trying to wade through the issues, sometimes you can't get anywhere. So this is hard. This is very, very hard. So you're editing that interview tomorrow? Cool, that'll be great. It was a great interview. I thought we had great discussion about exactly where the oath has gone, like straight down the shitter. And that Planet Fitness thing was another good example. I mean, if you didn't watch that video, I literally was accosted, you know, in the grocery store by those cops that were sure I was their suspect in some third-degree burglary, backpack theft. Yeah. So, yeah, I agree, RP. I do. It's so hard to have any kind of compassion for, you know, I guess I'd feel bad for their families. Maybe. I don't know. They don't give a shit about Zana or her family or her struggles or anything else she's going through, or a handful of others out there, right? I mean, so it's just really hard to take all that into consideration when they literally kill, maim, destroy lives at the drop of a hat. Just doing my job. Just doing my job. So anyway, just real quick, I don't want to be a spoiler on the podcast that's going to be released, but the Planet Fitness debacle, it's just really still kind of in there. I'm waiting for the case report that I paid for. I'm waiting for hopefully a determination letter on my complaint about the officers. The command staff was decent at Littleton, but I'm waiting for a response on their process. They have a horrible internal affairs process. You just make a complaint and that's it. I'm like, no, that's not it. I want a determination letter. So I'll just be continuing to crawl up their ass over that. What did you say, Jack? Yeah, you were asking me about insurance and stuff. Did you catch the earlier piece of this conversation? Shit happens to demons. I agree. Yeah, it was a great interview. I hope everybody checks it out too. Make sure you send me the link so we can get it out there. Yep, the case coordinator just collects the paycheck. I don't, you know, District 4 has had a few little Facebook debuts of the work that their case coordinator has done. And I guess, you know, if you get someone in housing, you've done a great job. But anyway, hey, Defend. How you doing? Who keeps, why are you retracting that message? Don't take your message down. It's okay. So anyway, that's really all I have to update you on with Zana. And there are a lot of people concerned. And I thank everyone. And I'm going to keep working on it. And I'm working out of state, so I'm very tired, and I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of rambling. Oh, that's okay. Defend. Don't worry about that. Glad you're in here. A bad situation there, Defend, if you want to go back and watch the videos from Friday, the live streams. I do hope that this individual from the press that was interested in the story gives me a call. I'm still waiting. But like I said, I think once, you know, they find out that, you know, this is a homeless issue, they're not going to be willing to take the heat from the city. So RP, thank you very much. Have a great evening. So, all right, that's the scoop for now. So I'm going to keep working on it. For those of you that wanted to do some records requests, please do that. Okay. I don't think that Jeep has a title in the state of Colorado. So duplicate title is an issue. And it's a huge, long process to pull records to clear a title. So you'll find my email address in the About section of my channel, or please email me at communityforums4us@gmail.com. It's community forums, FORUMS, the number 4 us, US, @gmail.com. That's all in the About section as well. Yep, we're the ones paying for it, Cloud9. There's zero accountability, none. And the whole qualified immunity thing. People think that Colorado has eliminated qualified immunity. We have not. Okay, we passed this little tiny law that holds them responsible for $25,000 if it gets through the civil rights process, okay? It's still not, we have not ended qualified immunity in the state of Colorado, and people keep saying that, and it's absolutely not true. People are having a shit fit that we made a dent in qualified immunity. Why, I don't know. Everybody's for personal accountability and responsibility, right? You fuck up, you're gonna pay. Just like Zana tried to pay, and she couldn't even do that. She still got her shit taken from her. Abolish all law enforcement unions and their qualified immunity permanently. I agree, 110%. That's wrong, DeHart. That is wrong. It's wrong. Seizing your property because you didn't ask government for permission to drive your own property. Yeah, you can love good officers and hate the tyrants. Show me the good ones. I try to work with the good ones, but they're sure the fuck not gonna speak up for the tyrants, are they? So how are they good? Yeah, you know, it's a difficult conundrum. I'm so disappointed in District 4. I thought we were making progress. I thought the community resource officers were really trying to work towards some commonality and some goals for some of these homeless people on the streets, but you know, they'll just tell you they got every excuse in the book. They weren't on duty at that time. Blah 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 blah. I can't help it what another cop does. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I know, but don't speak up about it, okay? If they're paid money, our money. Yeah, the whole system is broke. We've given away our rights because of fear. You could not have said that any better. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, the amount of resources that the Denver Police Department invests in dealing with the homeless, I don't, we're just starting this cycle all over again of criminalizing them and just taking their shit. It's kind of mind-blowing. 1 good officer to every 10. That's pretty generous. That's pretty generous. Qualified immunity because of civil rights. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yep, defend good cops are complicit. They are. They're not going to rock the boat. They're not going to step up and speak out on shit like that. Hey, Ghost. Okay, so the update is this. I think you know that they charged her. There's going to be some confusion in proving ownership with the title. I'm hopeful to hear from the press. I haven't, but still waiting, very hopefully. And there really isn't a whole lot new, other than Zane's just stressed. And we're trying to figure out if we're even going to be able to prove ownership on that Jeep because of a title issue. She might have secured the title, we'll see, but she doesn't have insurance, of course, so we have to figure out how to get that Jeep out of there. I talked maybe a little bit about having to pay attention when they auction, get it back that way. I don't know. It's still just kind of a conundrum. When you make over $200,000 a year, your silence is being bought if you are good. Oh, I don't think they even have to make that much. They just need job security, right? Yeah, if you meet a cop on a good day, or a nice cop. I love that whole misnomer about, oh, he's so nice, he'd give me the shirt off his back. That doesn't make him a good cop. Sorry. It doesn't make him a good cop. I will say one thing about District 4. So the officer that I screamed about and at for the longest time, Officer Chavez, I actually just wrote him a commendation a week ago because something very instrumental happened because of his actions that I called on him for because they were criminal. And he addressed that. And because he addressed that, there was a excellent end result to another issue that he really didn't have to take the time to address, and he did. So I thanked him for that. I did. And those were part of the times that I thought that District 4 was really wanting to do things a little bit differently. But apparently they didn't get the memo out to the B team that shows up and just does whatever the fuck they want. So it's hard for me to make any concessions for that. This whole hit and run bullshit. Don't go there with that. Don't even go there with that. Pavlov's dog. Maybe. Just a little. No, look. If you have that moral compass and you want to activate it as a cop, I'm gonna be there to help you activate it. Yeah, I am. And I'm very involved with these people that live on the streets because they need it. They need people to step up for them. And because things have changed. They're not perfect, but they're a hell of a lot better than they were. I'll tell you that right now. So maybe if anyone is interested in replicating my actions, you know where to do it. The B team needs to go. Yeah, there doesn't even need to be a B team. Yeah, Jack, I agree. If your silence is being bought, it doesn't matter. You're no good. Why did you even get into this? Because homeless outreach has always been a thing of mine. I've always done it silently, kind of behind the scenes, and had some conversations with people, decided I needed to start this nonprofit and make it bigger. And it's gone in a direction that I didn't really think it was going to go, which was back into Denver. I wanted to be in Arapahoe County, where, by the way, Mike Kaufman, the mayor of Aurora in Arapahoe County, is championing for a camping ban over in Aurora. So we knew some of that was coming, and I wanted to be in Arapahoe County, but I'm shifted back into Denver. I actually had thought that Denver was doing things a little bit better and different, but they weren't. So, in fact, it was more buried and hidden with the criminalization pieces against the homeless. So I got pulled into Denver, and I just firmly believe that you cannot be judgmental of a person or any issue unless you're fully vested. And the cruelty that I kept seeing towards the homeless was really starting to bug me, because homelessness isn't going to decrease. It's going to increase. It's steadily been increasing over the past 10 years. And I really went full bore right before COVID. And now that COVID is over And the moratorium on evictions is going to be lifted on June 30th. Denver is going to see a mass influx of homelessness. And so I guess I'm right where I need to be. But unfortunately, I only have a small group of volunteers, and they're not interested really in doing the things I do. There's only a few of us activists out there that are this involved, and we need more of them. So the more I do it, the more I get pulled in. And I just am very strong on people needing to recognize the individual. Are all homeless people down on their luck and just need, a hand up, No, there's some bad people out there. And I don't deny that. And I don't make excuses for harming others, criminal activity. I don't make excuses for that. I don't make excuses for the trash, even though that's another whole topic in itself. I'm like the queen of trash because I can manage a camp, but the city can't respect that. We have a good understanding between all the people that I work with. I have a lot of irons in the fire for different people to either get them documents, get them in touch with family, put them on a bus to go home. There's a lot of different things that my nonprofit is doing. And it's all funded with private dollars. And I'm not going to partner with government. I'm not going to go to government and say, hey, I need a grant. I need you to give me some money. No, I just need you to do your fucking job. That's what I need you to do. You said you were going to take taxpayers' dollars to do this, and you're not doing it. So why not? So do it. That's the only thing. That's the only involvement I want with government. And I will never ask government for permission. And as long as we have public land and government continues to own land, well, you know what, people, you're just going to have to deal with seeing homeless people because they're always going to be there. And there's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of chronic homeless. There's a lot of homeless that are never getting off the streets. So deal with it. They've always been there. It's just increasing, and people don't like it. So they need advocates. They need support systems. They need other people to show them how things work. Some of these people have never stood a chance, okay? They've only been raised to be homeless. There's childhood trauma. There are fathers and sons out here. There are so many men lacking in this equation that could come out and really connect with men out here. I can only say so many things as a woman, but there's a lot of need for a lot of mentorship. And in that podcast interview I did last night, I talked about truly just coining the phrase adopting a homeless friend. Just go do it. Just go meet one person and say, hey, you know what? I just want to know your story. If you want to share it with me, I'd love to hear it and maybe see if I can help in any way. I'm going to tell you, you will have a new friend for life because that's all they really, really want. They just want to be understood. Some of them really want help. Some of them are destined for the streets. So what's wrong with being kind? I don't know. It's just always been a thing of mine. So you asked, that's my long answer. Sorry, I could have given a shorter answer. So, hey, and I'm really bad about asking. If you want to donate, all the ways to donate are in my About section. I have Cash App, I have Venmo, you can mail. I don't do PayPal because PayPal takes fees. So there's ways to donate. We'll gladly take your money, and we are a registered 501c3 in the state of Colorado, so your donations are fully tax deductible. But what I really, really need is people. I need people to come out and be willing to do the same things that I'm doing. Maybe not scream at the cops. Most people aren't comfortable doing that, but hey, whatever. If you want to, I'm your gal. But I need people to come out and just connect. I need to be able to call on someone and say, hey, can you give so-and-so a ride just downtown or to pick up his glasses or some. I've always got something in motion. So you're black and allergic to cops. Well, I'm a white woman, and I'm probably equally as allergic. Oh, Jack, thank you. When did I see you hungry and didn't feed you? When you did it to the least of you, you have done it unto me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a firm proponent and activist of what would Jesus do. I really am. So doesn't make me perfect. I'm not perfect. Okay, I make a lot of mistakes out there, admittedly. But I've never mistaken my sincerity and my want to care. So, and I've never harmed anyone. So, yeah, hey Brian, I think so. Well, we're working on it. We'll see. I don't know. I always say God loves us, but the devil takes an interest. You think? Yeah, somebody made a comparison the other day and said that cops truly just serve Satan's asshole. I thought it was good. Okay, I really did. I thought it was good. Okay, so I said I was going to go a while ago. I need to go. So you guys, thank you very, very much. Okay, you all have a really good night. If there's anything you can do to contribute, I'm game. I've got to continue to work on this plan with Zana. I hope we can get somewhere with it. I'm concerned about proving ownership, even though it's not stolen. But Denver's forced us now to have to jump through these hoops, and I'm really mad about it. So, oh, they don't consider you near as hostile as they do me. I don't know. I guess it depends on who you associate with. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right, Bovika. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great night. And thank you for your help.